So I've never ever understood this concept that people always say, I just want to be happy. I just want to find happiness in my life. I just want to be happy. Happy, 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 happy. Man, shut the hell up. Why the hell do you want to be happy so bad? Happy is a state of emotion just like anger is. You don't ever hear anybody say, I want to be angry in my life, right? Like, you never hear people say that because it's simply unattainable. I don't think I've ever met anybody that was, yeah, I'm happy with my life. Yeah, maybe in the moment, maybe for a day or for a week even. But stuff happens and their mood changes and not they don't have to hate their life necessarily, but they're not like happy per se with their life, right? I never understood this. It's an unattainable goal. You will always disappoint yourself. It's an inevitable way of setting yourself up for failure. I've always said, and I got this from my dad. He's always said, one thing I always want, I don't want happiness. I want peace in my life, right? Peace is something that can be a current, scenario, a state of mind even, right? When you have a peaceful mind, things can be going on. You can be stressed out to an extent, but the day, you come home, you lay in bed, you kick your feet up, and it's not really like, that bad. Things are going on, but it's it's not that crazy. And so why is so many people nowadays they want to be happy? It's like, you know what makes you genuinely happy? Not trying to be happy. That's what makes you happy. Right? It's so funny how the paradox in many things of life are like the more you try to chase directly after those things that you want, the more it runs away from you, right? That's why they say like if you want to make money, if you want to be successful, get a skill, find a passion, get really good at something, right? And usually when you try to get really good at something or you find a passion or a quirk or something that pays really well, then you'll naturally make a lot of money. And if you're somebody that likes negotiating, making business deals, exchanging goods for services, like I feel like that's a tribalistic human thing to do at this point because it's evolved within us, then naturally you'll probably like, going into business and making money, right? So, I'm going down a little tangent here, but yeah, man, you don't have to be happy. I'm not saying like you have to be some depressed guy and have to, like hate your life or anything, but this rule that you have to be happy, it's bullshit. I don't know who came up with this. It's some Lifetime Disney. It's garbage. It's a really garbage philosophy, I think. If anything, man, I would say I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life or what to think, but try to seek peace, right? Seek peace, right? Because you want to see chaos. You want to live a chaotic life. Nobody wants that, right? But you can very easily set yourself up or set your life up to be chaotic versus in it being peaceful, right? So there's something that I think about, right? As I get older, right, and I have my hobbies, my routines, my career, and I'm developing myself as a person. I'm growing every year. The one thing that I really kind of found is that being at a peace of mind, man. Life is long and life is short at the same time, but the long part comes whenever you feel like you're constantly just dealing with stuff that you shouldn't have to deal with, right? Like eliminating things out of your life that you can really make a difference and change about. Like I used to live with my mom, single mom, and in a house of 5 kids, sometimes seven, if I had step siblings in the house at the time. And man, what a chaotic household. There's no, real stability. And I love my mom. I'm not ragging on her in this video or anything, but she tried her best. It's just that when you come from such a chaotic environment, which I'm sure many of you can relate, you don't want to. You do your best if you can move out or you can leave to never go into that ever again. And then once you kind of move out or move in with a roommate or remove yourself from the environment, you feel so much more at peace with yourself. It's kind of like a night and day. You really don't realize how much mental anguish and anxiety and all these other things that happen was a part of like living with, parents sometimes, especially after like the age of 18. I feel like many cultures are super bound to try to keep their their children and their families super close together. They all lived once together, and that's fine. I mean, I guess it's like it has its pros, it has its cons, but at the price of what, right? At the expense of what? Your sanctity, your stability of your sanity. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of everything has a price, and I don't know if that actually has a price for me. And so, I know some of you guys that may watch this video may be living with your parents. You may still be in your mid 20s, which, I'm saying if you're in your mid 20s and you're still living with your parents and, you have no, you have arms, legs, mouth, you can, you're a normal guy or an average Joe for that matter, you kind of need to shake things up in your life and move out. And, if you're really comfortable living with your parents, like, I guess that's fine, not telling you how to live your life. But at the same time, how are you going to know how to live with like a significant other one day? What if you guys, decide to move in with one another and the only person you've ever lived with is your parents? You guys get married. Your mom's not going to do your laundry. Your mom's not going to cook. Your mom's not going to do anything like that. And I guess some of you guys expect your wife to do that, but I guess it's a part of it, right? Like I wouldn't necessarily need a woman in my life to do all these things. I've been doing those things since I was young. I mean, with the exception of maybe washing my clothes. But once I moved out, man, it was on me. There was nobody that was gonna come to my college, hours away and come clean my clothes for me. That was on me. There was nobody that was gonna come cook for me or make me food or anything like that, right? And that's kind of just the autonomy that you have being independent, right? You don't really rely on, another person to make sure things are okay or going okay, or, oh man, if I don't have this person in my life, then I won't have these things done, but they caused me all these things and I'm tired of living here and I don't want to deal with this. And dude, you got the answers you need. You're literally saying the answers that you need to solve the problem that you're in. So just think about that. Many guys don't know how to cook. It's like embarrassing, right? If you don't know how to cook, I'm gonna be honest, as a guy, if you don't know how to cook, it's more embarrassing to me than maybe the societal standard of a woman not knowing how to cook, right? Because that's right. Like look, man, I don't care. You gotta learn how to cook if you're a guy. And I don't mean like Chef Boyardee, macaroni and cheese in the microwave, hot pockets, pizza rolls, cereal, air fryer stuff. I mean like just putting some chicken down on the stovetop, making some rice on the rice cooker, making some veggies on the side. Simple dishes, man. Nobody's asking you to be Chef Gordon out here or anything. Learn how to cook your food because it's gonna also enable you to be able to invite people over, host meals, host gatherings, once you got your own place. Once that happens, you can really start like being the place where people hang out. You can be that guy, be that friend where people kind of gravitate towards you. Oh, we're going over Brian's place this weekend. Or Brian, what's going on, man? You cooking or you doing anything? I mean, obviously, like you don't want it to probably that extent, but you get what I'm saying, right? So just think about that, man. I know we started off the topic with, trying to be happy. And when I think of all these things just bring me peace. Knowing how to cook, knowing how to clean, being able to handle myself independently. These are traits that, like somehow it goes back to girls for some reason. And I say that because it's probably going to be, the audience of this channel is going to be younger guys. And that's what we focus on naturally, But, like if it comes to women, if it comes to dating or whatever, like, you can cook, you can make a meal. A woman's always going to appreciate that. You can help your wife out with making a meal for the kids in the future. You can, cater for, you can do barbecue. There's so many things, man. So yeah, learn how to cook, it should be no reason to, but back to the main topic. I really do think that, people having this goal of being happy is just it's so unnecessary right? Like, because of all the things I just said, but it actually does more harm than good. And, life is already difficult enough as it is with social media and the constant comparisons and the, constant, I guess, carousel wheel of people and choices and distractions, right? It's naturally made to keep your mind in a frenzied state. You can't really singularly keep your world simple anymore. And that's the problem, right? That's generally the problem, is that your world is not that simple enough anymore because you have too many distractions at bay that can distract it very easily, right? That's a symptom, that's a sickness I feel like we all have, but because we've adapted to this way of communication and interacting with one another, we've just kind of enabled it, right? And that's a problem that society needs to kind of solve right now. But it won't necessarily solve it because it's profitable at the same time. So, I, there is a lot of engagement and money to be made off of your unhappiness. So when you think about that, think about, do I actually want to be happy or do I just want to be peaceful? Two very different things. And the conversation in your head should, kind of be that, hey, I want to be at peace. I don't want to be, you know, worried or anything like that. I don't want to be, stressed out or have, stress of the gills, which, arguably can make you unhappy. And, just because you're stressed on something doesn't mean that you're not happy either, right? Like, just because you have stresses in your life, it doesn't mean that necessarily the bad thing. I feel like the main issue is that a lot of guys just find themselves with too much time on their hands because there's no room for, how do I say, there's no room for keeping your mind busy with certain things, right? That's kind of the thing, whether it be video games or, maybe you're working on a business or you're learning how to do a business or you're learning a new skill, a new project, a new something. Look, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, when it comes to trying new things and trying out passion stuff, it's gonna probably take you a couple tries of different things to have something stick. It's completely natural to try something, it not work out and fizzle out or whatever have you be. But anyways, leave a like on this video if you liked it. Don't if you don't, and I'll see you next time.